Hey everybody, it's me, Lord Farquaad. Just kidding. I'm not sure about this new haircut. I feel like I look like Lord Farquaad, especially like right after I got it done yesterday. I was like, vibes. Anyway, it is the end, almost the end of the day. I have finished work and I'm tired, but I am determined. I have gone through so many obstacles to film this. I'm making another house, another one of these. This is the one we're making. I have made terrible footage. I have lost footage. I was gonna record this yesterday, realized I didn't have any super glue. I cut out all the pieces on wood that was wrong. So yeah, so finally, hopefully everything will converge and it will work out today. Otherwise it'll just be like 20 minutes of me sobbing. So let's all hope that this works out. So I'm gonna be making, like I said, I'm gonna be making this little house. I don't know if I told you why I was making these houses. I know I made this one on camera, or one like it. Maybe it was this one right here. This one, and I probably went into it a little bit. But anyway, let's not jibber jabber too long. I can jibber jabber while I work. And this is going to take probably a couple hours to film and get done. So anyway, this is what we're making. I'm calling it the Marigold House. And it's got little curtains in it. But anyway, let me show you what my supplies are. Okay, so for this build, we're doing it a little bit differently. This house right here, you can see it's got a little bit of detailing here. It's got a little extra layering. We're going to add these tiny little pieces on like that to give it a little bit more depth. So so we got the house, the roof. We've got these little pieces here. This will be part of the dormer. This will be part of the dormer as well. We've got the door, and we've got the little pieces that are going to go here. So I've also got super glue, the best super glue in the world from the Dollar Tree. I've got sanding, sandpaper. I've got an X-Acto knife, some paint brushes. We're going to be obviously doing yellow house, white trim, and then of course we'll paint the roof as well. So, and then I've got curtains. I decided to try this little strawberry print or rosebud print. Yeah, what is that? What is that? Rosebud? Anyway, I thought that would be kind of cute with the yellow, but we'll see. So I've got that going for me as well, which is nice. Oh, and then what you probably, maybe you can see this, I've got some clear, thin acrylic that's going to create little window looking things. So, shall we get started? So first things first, if I was a little bit more energetic, I did sand a little bit of this, but I'm going to be painting most of it, so I'm not too worried. Also, we're functioning on like good enough vibes, because I cut this out over something that had already been etched, and then I cut this one with a magnet over it, so it wasn't going to etch there, but we're working with good enough vibes. So I guess what I'm going to do, I guess I need tape as well. I'm going to tape off the areas. Actually, I'm just going to paint the whole thing white, let it dry, tape up the windows, I guess, and then paint yellow. This will be brown, shades of brown, and this one as well. So yeah, let's get started on that. Okay, time to paint. I originally was going to paint this yellow. I changed my mind. I actually took a break. I was having a mental breakdown, a mentee bee, and I decided to step away, kind of let it marinate in my head a little bit. And so I've actually decided, you know, most of all of my other ones, like this, if you can see it, this one right here, they're yellow. And so that's what we're making today, but I felt like doing, what the heck is that right there? Go away. I want to make it green. I want to make it like a mint green just because I feel like it. So anyway, jump to, I know I mentioned that I'm putting some pieces on here, but I was a little afraid if I didn't tape it off, I'd be unhappy with the results at the end. So we'll see if any of that hard work was worth it. I'd rather do it and not need it than need it and not do it. So anyway, let's get this painted. So I started out with white. I'm not really sure how I'm going to edit this. I'm still learning as I go. I painted it all white so that the windows would be white, just because it's easier to paint the whole thing white and then tape it off. And in the middle of painting it, I was like, wait a minute, I got those extra new pieces that I just made so that I could add some dimension to this house. And I don't even need to paint the house white. But I was already, 3/4 of the way through, and I was like, let's just keep going. Let's just do it. So here we are. These have been painted white. This one I actually painted yellow, and then I was like, oh, I hate that. Because I didn't tape them off, and then I was like, oh, I'll just be careful, but right across the frame, and, that bothered me, so I didn't do it. So that's the point where I was like, oh, I better take a break here. And so here we are. So this is not a very even coat of green. We're probably going to have to make 2 coats. It's probably the quality of acrylic I'm using. I used to paint, like paint canvases. And so I have this collection of acrylic paint. And then, life happened over the years and I stopped painting. Honestly, my grandmother died. She got me into painting when I was probably early 20s. And she got sick and died. And if you have ever dealt with that, sometimes you just like buckle down and all extra things cease, and, life happened and I never got back into it. Like I would paint here and there. But that's probably more than enough information to say that's why I have all this green, I have all this acrylic paint, and it's just set here. But I'm too much of a hoarder to be like, oh, it's bad, I'm just going to throw it away. So I use paint that's not that good because I let it sit for years. So here we are making paint that's older than some of you. Making paint. We're making houses using paint that's old. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll probably do an extra coat. We'll see how it dries, because I'll probably need an extra coat. But anyway, so yeah, I started this video, I want to say last Monday. Like I was going to start it last Sunday, and I realized I didn't have super glue. I had allowed myself to run out of that. And then I had cut these, but I had cut them with a different kind of wood. And they're really thick. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like there's 2 pieces together. I was like, man, how did I manage that? No, I just used really thick wood. And like for the base, it would have been fine probably. But the roof and stuff was going to be really thick. It was not going to work very well. So I was like, well, pass on that day. And then so Monday I started recording this, and that's when I kind of had my meltdown. It's really not the easiest thing to feel like you're being, like obviously I'm doing this on purpose. I'm doing this to myself. Like I have goals in mind. Like I want to learn how to edit, and if you see my other videos, you already know that I want to learn how to edit. I want to increase my skills, and also I kind of like want to share fun little things with the world. And so I'm, figuring it out as I go, but I'm doing it publicly because semi-publicly because I'm posting these. Just feeling like a complete baboon. Like I don't know what I'm doing, and it comes across very clearly that I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why I hit pause. I'm like, wow, you look so stupid right now. And everybody's going to hate you and wish you were dead. Not quite to that point, but all that to say, I took a break. So that was Monday, and then that Monday night, feeling kind of bad about this, and then I was like, you know what? I should dye my hair red, like immediately. And ChatGPT, my assistant / life coach, was like, yeah, you should paint your hair red. That's definitely on brand for you. You should do that. Lean into it. So I've dyed my hair red before, but it was like my hair color plus a little bit more red. So it was like, yeah, I don't really know how to describe it besides that. It was my hair color, just a little bit more red, and I loved it. That was years ago, though. So I thought that's what it was going to be. And last time, years ago, again, when I dyed my hair red, I feel like I chose like 1 or 2 times, I chose like a really red option and it didn't lift up my color. It just added to it and it was really pretty. And so I did that again. I grabbed this like red hair, not like our natural red looking. And it actually had bleach or something in it because it lifted up the color off my hair and deposited red, and I was a ginger, and not a cute ginger. It was an ugly ginger. So I freaked out about that a little bit. Then I cut my foot. I live in an old house, and whoever like flipped the house, they use nails instead of screws in the floor. And upstairs in my bedroom, one was lifting up out of the floor, and I kept saying, oh, I'm going to bring a hammer up here. I'm going to take that down. And I never did until I took out a chunk of my foot. Sorry if that was gross for you. I didn't realize that I had cut it open. I just thought I had like jammed it or something because it hurt, but I just went about my day, and so I'd come downstairs and start taking care of the bird, and next thing I know, I've got like blood spots on the linoleum after I've walked all over my house. So it was actually quite a bleeder, and so I've been dealing with that as well. So I'm glad that week is over. It's Sunday again, and here we are trying this again. It's spring, as I don't know if I've mentioned that it's spring, and so there's been a lot of rain, and so it's been cloudy days, and I'm trying to use like a natural lighting so it doesn't look so harsh. So some of that has been working against me as well. And then life just feels really busy. I feel like I'm really in my business era where I'm really leaning into trying to get my company profitable and, make dreams come true kind of thing, where I'm just trying to work for myself, make these little houses for a living, amongst other things. So I've been busy with that, and then ChatGPT really helps with like making mock-ups and giving me ideas for social media. I'm terrible at social media, and so it's been really helpful with that, and so I'm leaning into that and getting more confidence in that, and like gaining I don't know, laissez-faire. Is that how it's called? How it's pronounced? This, just do it and you'll get better as you go, or, just do it because you never know. Like I have this tendency to think, oh, I've posted about it once. People don't want to see a million videos of this. Well, the fact of the matter is most people aren't seeing any videos of this. And so I'm doing one video, it's hitting like 15 people, and then I'm moving on to, well, that didn't work, so I guess I'll just give up. And that's not the attitude I should be having. So I've been working on that. I've also had some ideas with like vintage stickers where they take like vintage style images, like ads and stuff like that, and put funny commentary, funny comments, etc. on there. I've been working on that, and for a long time I wanted to do it, and I wasn't really able to come up with commentary to put on it. And so I finally like hit my stride there to some degree. I'm still not great at it. I don't think I'm that funny in print. But I did make some that I think are amusing. They tickle my funny bone. So I've been working on that, and then I've had some other ideas that have been keeping me busy as well. And then, of course, the 9 to 5. So I'm just not sure about this. I think I should probably go make breakfast and come back when this is dried and decide if I hate it or not. I don't know if you can tell, like, it looks pretty uneven. We'll see. Maybe we just need another, maybe a 5th coat of paint would do the job. So yeah, it's, I don't even know what time it is because I'm recording this on my phone and my camera. But I'm gonna go eat breakfast and then come back. So while we're waiting on paint to dry, and breakfast to cool off, I thought I'd show you Dexter. I got him maybe about a month ago. He has some feather loss around his neck. Hopefully that will be clearing up soon. But he's decided he likes me and he wants to sit on my shoulder, which is really fun because it doesn't feel really secure. And so I'm afraid he's going to like fall off. But anyway, he's decided we're friends, right? Great friends. All right, I did actually put on a second coat. of the green, so it looks a little bit more even. It's dry. I've had my eggs. So now I think we can peel this off and see if it was worth even taping it up. Let's see. Like I said, I've got pieces to go over these, so if it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. But yeah, so far so good. I got the door done. Don't want to get too optimistic. Yeah, not bad. Not bad right there. Okay, so there is some paint right here. Looks like a little bit right there. But yeah, a little bit right there too. But otherwise, it's really not bad. And like I said, having those pieces over the top, it probably won't even matter. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. There's just the tiniest little bit of green right there. All right, so once again, we're using the trusty gel super glue. I don't do very well with the liquid kind. I get it all. I'm gonna 100% get this all over my fingers today, but the liquid kind is even worse. So this, I designed it for this to go on the right hand side. I'm gonna have to touch that up after I get it all assembled. But yeah, it was designed for the dormer to go on the side here. And as I've probably mentioned in previous videos, I like the raw side to be on the side of the house. So when you're looking at the front of the house, that raw side, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like this. It's just probably personal preference, really. And I'm currently looking for, I guess I'll just use this for my 90-degree angle to make sure it gets glued together properly. So okay. So what I like to do is line it up as best as I can. I try to be cognizant of where the edges are. You can be a little bit fussy with that. And then I use like a 90-degree angle. Try not to glue the 90-degree angle down. That helps me get a square or plumb adhesion, joint, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, while that dries, so this is called the Marigold House on my website, and the reason obviously it's called marigold is because it is a yellow color, usually. I'm just kind of, this is for my own, this is just, basically I'm making this for this video. I've attempted to record this 3 times now. This is the 3rd time. After this, you know, you get what you get. So, that being done, and we'll just add this one on. I feel like this comes together pretty fast. You know what I should have done, and maybe I should pause right here and do it, is add the curtains. I really should have added, you know, I should have added the windows too. So, instead of closing it in, I should have thought this through, and I thought it through, but clearly not. So we're gonna stop right there, and we're gonna make the windows and the curtains using like this flexible plastic. All right, I got some pieces here of plastic, and basically, I don't know if you can see, I've already placed some down here. So we're going to glue those on before we move on. Oh, this one is drying not square because I stopped in the middle of making sure that was plumb to wander off and ponder thin plastic. So this is not going to get touched very much, hopefully not at all, because it's going to be on the inside and the inside will be enclosed, so you won't be able to touch it. But let's see. So just a little bit of glue should do the job. We're not too worried. Like if this was outside, it would be probably the plastic. I don't know if it would adhere properly to the super glue. But regardless, here we are. This is going to be on the inside, so it doesn't matter. And let's get this. Probably are easier ways to do that. And also I want to make sure that I don't get it too wide. So when I go to adhere the other side to it, I don't want it to overlap onto here because it's going to make the joint very weak. So, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it looks like you can. That is not the one I was working on, so we're going to put that there. Alright, so you don't want it to impede the roof line or the joint here, or it's going to be glued to the base here. So that side is done. This side needs to be, now that I've put super glue on it, because I touched it onto the house, I actually have to cut it down. So let's see if that's enough. I could use a little bit more. Okay, so now that I've glued this to my finger, we're going to try this again. And we just need a tiny piece for the upper window. That should work. Alright, how are we doing? Alright, so then we just have to worry about this piece right here. Let's see, we could really use this one. Just want to shorten it a little bit. And then, I don't know if we can use this piece right here. I'm not feeling really good about that, so we'll just use this here. Oh good, I got super glue on that too. Alright, so this is the last piece, and then we'll start putting on the curtains. But yeah, so I decided to call this the Marigold House. I thought it was kind of, I guess, whimsical. Obviously these are not very serious things. And so in keeping that in mind, it's just kind of a cottagey, whimsical thing going on in my life. And I felt like naming it Marigold House. I'm not sure what I'm going to name the next one. I'm kind of wanting to go with like names that I would have named a child if I ever had kids, even though I never, I didn't want kids. I should edit that out. Anyway, so Marigold House. I think I might have mentioned when I made the spruce house, which is this one right here, that I wanted to make little houses. Like they were supposed to be sort of tree houses for house plants, but then I got a little extra and they ended up looking like this. And I'm just running with it because I think they're really cute and they're fun to make for the most part until I'm, on camera looking like a dweeb. So we're going to do one of these. We're trying to get a little bit of a fold in the curtain or in the window area. And also actually successfully glue it down, which is asking a lot for me apparently. Stay down. Okay, that's not working. All right, we're gonna be a little extra. I'm actually gonna try sewing this how I want it to be. So we can get the ruffles that we need. It makes it extra easy to have super glue making it really stiff. But, the next one will be easier because it won't have glue on it. I just love the look of the little curtains inside. And since there's nothing inside, like I wanted the look of the glass, but without the curtains you can kind of just see in and see that it's an empty shell. And I think the curtains kind of give it a lived-in look. So, kind of add to the story. So we're going to pull it taut. That actually might work for one window. I just cut it down a little bit. So let's try this again. Let's put down some glue. Make sure we get the print on the outside. And then we're gonna hold this down with something that hopefully won't stick to the glue, because my fingers definitely will. And while it's drying, we'll do another piece. All right, second piece. This takes a really, I don't know if it would be any faster if I didn't film it, but probably, but not by much. But these, I'm only selling these for like $18 to $22 in my shop. I'm like, is that enough money? Am I charging enough for this? And will people buy it if it's more expensive? Because I'm at the point in my company where I'm not paying myself. I'm not making any money. Like everything that we make goes back into the company. But when we look at like how many hours am I spending? If I was to pay myself, like how much would I be making? So that's certainly a question a business person should ask themselves. Sometimes you just do stuff for the whimsy of it, for the cute factor. Why won't you stay? Probably because I'm adhering it to plastic. All right, so that's pretty freaking cute. I'm gonna show you over here. That's really cute. Okay. So we will proceed. we'll keep going. I'm not going to make you watch me do every window, so I'll be right back. All right, so you can see we've got the pieces glued together, and we've got the curtains in, sewn up, and then we're ready to add this one. Oh, look at that, it fell off. Winning. So let's try that again. I already got glue all over my fingers, so I'm trying to minimize that. Alright, so we got that glued on, and now you're going to have to glue this together. You can see that since I wasn't paying attention, this one's, you know, when I remembered, oh yeah, I need to put on windows and curtains first. This one's not plumb. So, a lesson learned on that. So, now we're going to glue this other side on. And let's see. Try to get the curtains out of the way as I add this on so I don't have curtains hanging out of the joints. Okay, here we go. Curtain, curtain. I'm going to try to correct that square issue on this side too while I'm gluing pieces together. Okay, so not bad. So I'll just hold it together for a few seconds until it wants to stay. Okay. A little bit, where you go. Let's see if we can correct that while we're here. So let's get the roof added on. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated because, as you see, our dormer gets added. So do a little dry fit here, make sure that it all fits together just fine. I did sand this down right here. I sanded this down right here on both sides because I like the fit better. It dovetails, or it fits together just a little bit better. It's a little bit thinner of a top. So I did sand that down, and then I did sand this and this down as well, and you'll see why in a little while. But I think we're ready. I just kind of like to check it out, see that it's plumb. You can see a little bit of curtain or thread hanging through there. All right. So, and I think I need to add a little bit more brown to this, because when it was under here, like when it was on, and then you flip it, well, let's see. Well, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. But under here, you can see that it's not okay. So we're gonna add a little bit more brown to that. I feel it's like watch me fumble around for 2 hours instead of like watch me make this cottage, this tiny cottage. It's more like watch me fumble around for 3 days while I try to figure my life out. All right. I'm not too worried about how perfect it is underneath here because obviously it's going to, it's not going to be really that visible, but I did want to make sure I try to get a little bit of color on there. So I don't think I'm going to wait for it to dry before maybe I should wait for it to dry, but I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I've got other things to do. I still need them. All right, you know you've been recording for a long time when the battery exhausts itself. So yeah, anyway, I need to get on with this. I've got things to do. I have to mow my yard. I haven't mowed my yard since last year. And the city's going to be calling for me soon. Fining me for not mowing my yard. Oh, nice. So, this, I don't know if this really matters right here, but I'm doing it anyway. So, really, I should have put this on together with it, like glued that side as well, but here we are. That'll be fine. Make sure it's flush. Now that it's hardened. Yeah, that's okay. We can work with that. Okay. Why is this not wanting to come off? Okay, so now we'll glue this side. Actually, we're going to glue this as well. And a little bit here and a little bit here. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Okay, that's better. Let's check the side. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I almost wish I painted this white underneath. But, oh well. Oh no, look at that. That's not gonna do at all. Why did it work on this side but not that side? Well, at least the glue wasn't completely dry. All right, now we get started on the dormer. It's probably the most complicated part. So we've got these little pieces right here. And they are supposed to fit right here. But as you can see, it's a little high, and it kind of just takes a little bit of finagling to get it to work. I have this theory that there's number people and there's word people, and then like really, really rare people are word and number people. So if you're a word person, like numbers they don't make sense to you in a way that they make sense to number people, and vice versa. So people who are really good at math aren't usually really good at writing. Not that I'm really good at it, so I guess I'm not a word person or a number person, but I'm a chaos person. I just live my life in chaos, just winging it as I go. So really, like, I'm trying to get it flush here, but also not tip over here. So I'm gonna have to sand that down. So I'm gonna do that, but if I do it right on film, it's gonna shake the whole table, and that's annoying for you. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, I forgot to hit record on this one, but I have record over here. So hopefully I got some footage of that. If not, then sorry. So I glued these on, and now it's time to glue these pieces on and hope that it works out. So basically it's going to look like that when we're done, if we did it correctly. We did not do it correctly, so what am I going to do about that? I don't like that. Okay. All right, so let's see. We're going to glue these pieces on, and hopefully they work out just right. So we're just gonna fiddle with them a little bit. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Yeah, that should be all right. Well, actually, how do I feel about that? I don't feel good. This is much like my regular life where I'm just winging it. I'm just screwing things up and figuring it out as I go. Alright, let's see, do we like that better? Why is it sitting like that? Okay, so we're going to hold it down, see if that will work. Be happy with that. Alright, let's see. Great, I've glued my finger. We all knew that was going to happen. Leave some skin cells behind. I'll probably have to clean that up later. All right, so we've got most of the house done. We've got some cleanup to do. And I think we're ready to glue things to the table. We're ready to start adding these little pieces. So I think I am gonna get a airbrush kit so that these come out nicer. So we're gonna do that, and then we've got these over here. We're gonna add those on as well. So let's see how that goes. I got a little bit of super glue here. I'll just use that up. Yikes. And put that on. I may regret that application, but and then we'll do this as well. Yeah, I don't really like the paint job of these. I think it could be better. So, but once you get them on the house, they're really hard to paint and not like cover the rest of the house or cover the area around it. Let's see, I've got paint on my finger, or not paint, I've got glue on my fingers, so it's wanting to stick to my fingers instead of the house. Okay. See, I don't like this right here. All right, so what do we think? I think the windows need to be cleaned up. I need to figure out a different way. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably get an airbrush kit. I'm gonna clean some of this up, and then we'll locate the base and paint that and then attach it. So I'll be right back. All right, we're nearly there. We've got our house, we've got our base. We just need to glue it on, and then we will seemingly be done. So I had the glue here instead of guessing where it's going to be on the base, which is probably pretty obvious to everybody but me. But regardless, this is not a how-to. This is a watch me do it, watch me fumble through life situation. So I don't know if I mentioned I cut this on my laser. I have a small business called Ludic Shops. Well, it's actually Ludic LLC, but the website's ludicshops.com. And so we make these little things. This is house number 3, I think. It's going to go. It's going to go on the shop, or is on the shop. So let's see. Put the cap back on here. Take a look at our house. Don't love that. Maybe that needs a little bit more pressure. I rush through things too much, so we don't get a good adherence. What I did, I put a little bit of copper right there, and I also had a test piece right here, and apparently I've wiped it all over the place. So once again, succeeding at life. Let's see what we can get off here with just a little bit of water. All right, so to correct that, we need white right here. Right there. And then we need the green, which we'll probably need a couple coats because that is kind of dark to cover up with just one coat. We're going with Bob Ross's Happy Little Accidents, except for that one wasn't salvageable. So we just paint over it and hope we didn't get anywhere else. So, what do you think of the little copper door right there? So I think we're finished after that dries. All right, we're at the end. I'm editing it now, just refilling the outro. We made this house, and what do you think? How did I do? Did you stick around for the rambling, or were you actually fascinated by this build? But anyway, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you like it. If you want to order one of these, you can find it at ludicshops.com. We've also got an Etsy shop. It's at Ludic Shops. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.